Even one review, one negative review can influence Rufus to say something stupid. Like literally one
Right.
review out of thousands can be the make or break. So
Welcome to the My Wife Quit Her Job podcast. Today, I am super excited to have Ritu Java on the show. Now, Ritu is the CEO and co founder of PPC Ninja, a company that helps brands scale with data driven advertising, AI, and cutting edge automation. She's an award winning speaker who has spoken at over 100 plus industry events. And most recently, she actually took the stage at my annual e commerce conference, the Seller Summit, where she delivered an incredible presentation on how she uses AI to grow e commerce businesses. Now, since I've been doing a lot of AI myself, I am super excited to chat with her today. And because AI is moving so fast that I myself am struggling to keep up and just to keep my head above water, really. And so I'm really happy. Ritu, welcome to the show. How you doing?
hey Steve, hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Yeah, this is going to be fun. It's a topic that is really close to my heart, and you're dabbling in it. So I'm excited to talk about this stuff.
Yeah. Actually, before we dive into the AI part, I know that you've helped thousands of Amazon sellers to scale at PPC Ninja. In the current landscape on Amazon with the rising fees, tariffs, and competition, where do you think the biggest opportunities are right now for sellers to stand out?
Yeah, so I think definitely the tariffs have been a big blow to a lot of businesses, and they're still trying to figure out how they're gonna, deal with it, whether they're gonna change their pricing structure or they're gonna make fundamental changes to their supply chain. And of course, those things take a lot of time. But I think for now, the sellers that we're dealing with are extremely conservative about their ad spend, and they're just being very, very cautious. That's the best I can say. It's like
Okay.
so cautious that they're not sure. Should they change strategies? Should they keep holding on to their prices, or should they experiment with any kind of pricing tools, etc., to see what others are doing? There's a few different approaches, but for the most part, people are just staying where they are. That's what I've observed. No one's drastically changed their advertising strategy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And their prices also, or
I am surprised. Like literally, less than 5% of our agency clients have changed prices. Everybody else is holding
interesting.
on to their prices. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And in terms of AI, what are some of the opportunities that you've been implementing with some of your clients?
AI gives you speed and it gives you efficiency because you can get creatives created like very in very short periods of time
Mhm.
and very cost effectively. So we actually help our clients with AI listing optimization. So the first part of that is Rufus optimization. For if you're selling on Amazon, then you want to get your listings ready for AI. So the AI era of conversational e-commerce, and so your listings need to be written in a certain way that these LLMs can actually understand and recommend your products versus some other product that's just been optimized for SEO. So SEO is slowly being replaced by this generative AI enabled or AI ready listing, and it's got to be structured in that way. So that's one. The second is video assets. You can now create so many video assets in the shortest period of time without needing any kind of fancy equipment or models or even the product. You can just superimpose, layer, and just very quickly and rapidly test a lot of ideas, do A/B testing, and then it's a much better way to kind of do kind of mass expansion without spending a bunch of money. And so we help with that, and I think we've seen a lot of like positive response on the AI offerings that we have right now, and hopefully it's going to grow. It's going to go get better and better over time.
For the audience members, what is involved with Rufus optimization
So
specifically?
Rufus currently is kind of in a primitive stage, but it's only going to get better from here on. Rufus is currently giving you prompts and answers. So if anyone discovers the Rufus button, which is a little hard to find, but it's
Yeah.
kind of on the left bar and the top left side. If you click on that Rufus button, you can start having a conversation about the product detail page. You can ask questions of Rufus about that page because there's just so much like clutter. I would say a lot of it is useful information, but a lot of it is like other sponsored ads, and then there's reviews and Q&A and things like that. So if you actually want to see, if you want to know if this product is actually good for you, if it meets your needs or not, you can just ask some basic questions. Is it good for my skin? I have dry skin, for example. Like without having to read the whole listing, you can have a shortcut way of knowing everything about the product that you care about in a few words. And so Rufus currently is doing some sort of pre-curated list of prompts. I think I've seen 15 or so, and if you keep clicking or keep asking, it gives you more and more and more, but like five at a time, and then up to 15 questions and answers that are kind of already kind of pre-curated for you to explore. Now, what we do with those Q&As is that we extract them, and the way to extract them is to basically use a tool, and we use a tool that we created, and that
Mhm.
extracts all the questions and all the answers and gives it to you in a easy to use format. Now what we do, my team does, is we take that and put it into our own custom GPTs, and we generate content with it, and sometimes we generate images that speak to certain negative aspects that Rufus is highlighting, and you don't want that. You really don't want Rufus to say something like, customers think that this product will fail on these points, and so
Right.
you proactively, you want to proactively address those very prominently, so that even if someone were to discover those negative questions and answers, they would know that, oh, this is probably because the whoever bought it made a mistake on their end. It's a misunderstanding or whatever. So we like to kind of improve listings in a way that proactively address anything negative being flagged by Rufus. And we also like to provide comparisons with other products, similar products, because one of the questions that you can ask Rufus at this point is, how does this product compare with that other product from that other brand? And if you have something ready, in your listing, in your images, or anywhere in the A plus content, it will be picked up by Rufus. So, for example, the kind of most direct way of addressing those sorts of questions is to have an us versus them comparison image on your listing. And it can be kind of further back in the gallery, because you don't want to clutter people with too much like text heavy content, like right in the head of the gallery, but it can be something that you write for Rufus. And then we actually do another thing, which is we create an FAQ image. So the image itself has questions and answers, and Rufus is picking up all of that. It's getting everything from your listing, including the text on your images and the meaning of the image itself, like the image um, is understood by that LLM. So those are some of the main things we do with Rufus, and then there's a whole bunch of other kind of minor and more sophisticated steps that we need in order to get it completely ready for Rufus.
Do you find that the images work better or just spelling out like the FAQs in the text, or do you do both?
So we're limited on text space, as we know, right? But the images tend to be more kind of forgiving of like dense, heavy text on, that amount of space that we have. Whereas, yeah, a bullet point can only be, certain number of characters, 500 or whatever, depending on your category. And then, of course, A plus can be used, but you want to make it pretty, right? A lot of people
Yeah.
focus on the aesthetics versus the detail, and yes, you need both. So it's kind of a balancing act of like, where do we put what in order for it to look pretty, as well as very very educational, as well as ready for an LLM to act on.
What's funny is in D2C land, I've been optimizing for LLMs also. And just one example of something I did recently was on a category page, I said we've shipped over 1 million wedding handkerchiefs. right? And then now, if you ask ChatGPT, who's the leader in this area, it'll say our company. Like things like
That's
that
awesome.
right now. And it's just Amazon. You're more restricted, obviously, in what you can say, but it seems like you've
Yeah.
gotten around that with images and answering all these questions ahead of time because you can reframe the narrative. I would imagine Rufus gets a lot of these opinions from like the reviews that have been left, right?
Even one review, one negative review can influence Rufus, to say something stupid. Like literally one
Right.
review out of thousands can be the make or break. So yeah, you got to really pay attention to the negative ones.
But you can reframe the narrative, it seems, right? By with
Yeah,
the images.
with images, yes, yes. So just an example, if let's say you have a product that requires some amount of care, like for example, a necklace or a pendant, something that falls off easily, Rufus might say, "Oh, customers have complained that the pendant falls off or something." And so, if that's the complaint, the number one complaint, then you can basically put it on them. You can put it on the shopper to take care of the product, and you basically add a care instruction or a care page that says, don't take these delicate pieces to the bathroom, for example, or don't use it in the shower, or keep it away from shampoo or things like that, so that they know that they need to do something to make it last longer. It's like it's a treasure that you treat with care.
Mm. And then
Yeah.
Rufus will include that in the answer, hopefully, right? Uh,
It will eventually. And the thing is, one point here, which is different from SEO, the traditional SEO. Traditional SEO kind of has a shorter window to kind of change, whereas
mm,
Rufus takes a little bit longer because it has to be proven over time. Like customers actually need to change their opinion over time for Rufus
mm,
to give you different answers. So we haven't seen those answers change overnight, but over time, yes, they're going to be different. It's going to start absorbing some of the content and providing those as responses.
and I know that tool that you said that scrapes like the Rufus answers. I remember like at least at Seller Summit, you give that tool out for free, right? Or
Yes, yes, I did. Yeah, yeah. It's a
yeah,
very simple tool,
yeah,
and all it does is it just kind of simulates clicks and makes the questions. Basically, it simulates a click on a question inside the Rufus panel. It opens all the questions up one by one, and then it goes and reads those questions and answers and gives it to you, as a copyable clipboard kind of text. And so
yeah.
that's just a simple JavaScript code that just sits in the browser and just reads whatever you're doing on the browser itself.
Hey, just a quick heads up. Tickets for my annual e-commerce conference, the Seller Summit, are now on sale over at sellersummit.com. If you run an e-commerce business selling physical products, this event was built for you. Unlike typical events filled with broad advice and feel-good stories, the Seller Summit is all about real strategies you can actually use. Every speaker I invite is deep in the trenches, running their own store and dealing with the same challenges you face every single day. Now, we keep the event intentionally small, just 200 people, so it stays intimate, and you actually get time to connect, ask questions, and have meaningful conversations. I've sold out every single year for the past 9 years. And if your store is already doing over 250K or $1 million in revenue, we also run a private mastermind with other top sellers in the space. You can learn more and grab your ticket over at sellersummit.com. Now back to the show. So I remember we just had a conversation before I hit record, and you said you don't consider yourself a programmer. Is
Yeah.
that something that you created with AI or?
hmm Yes, I created that with AI. I am not a programmer, and I mean, I have kind of a basic fundamentals of programming nailed because I went to, I did my engineering a long time ago, but it's not like I use programming on a day-to-day basis. If you were to say, hey, write a piece of code in JavaScript, I'd be like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I do not
Right.
know how to start. But because I have that high level understanding of, this is how programming works, I can actually ask and any LLM, especially Claude, which is probably my favorite for any kind of low code
Right.
um, kind of task. So I can ask Claude to generate a browser bookmarklet, and then it'll
Mhm.
do it. Or I can say create an HTML page that I can download and use interactively. So I kind of know a little bit of that in order to give it instructions, but that's all you need to know. You just need to
Right.
know what's possible, and then the LLMs do the rest for you.
So in terms of the people listening, and we're assuming that most people listening are not technical at all, uh, what are some of your favorite AI tools right now from a non-coder perspective, just to do what you want? I guess just without any code, really. Like, what are you using it for? What are your favorite tools right this second?
Yeah, so of course, ChatGPT
Hmm.
for any kind of brainstorming, any kind of high level uh, planning around certain, tools and things like that. I can do that high level programming or planning with ChatGPT. Then the actual programming I do with Claude because Claude understands code better than any other, I think, any other LLM at
Yeah,
this
it seems
point.
to be the best right now. Yeah.
It seems to be the best right now. Yeah. The only trouble with Claude would be that it runs out of, I run out of credits very quickly on Claude. Even though I have the paid plan, I keep hitting those limits and I'm not ready to upgrade to the $90 plan yet. So I'm kind of trying to make do with, my ChatGPT subscription. And so I do it in two parts, like the planning here and then the execution in Claude. Now, I also do like Perplexity if there's a research project that requires any kind of like live web-based search. Perplexity seems to shine there. And then Gemini is good for I think Gemini is, we use a lot of Gemini for our Google Workspace. It's kind of integrated into Gmail and BigQuery and Looker Studio and things like that. So that's where I use Gemini the most for those sorts of tasks. I haven't found Gemini. I don't know. There's something about Gemini that makes me not want to use it. And,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah,
I
it's
don't use it
okay.
either. I'm just curious. So yeah.
You know, right? Okay, so I'll give you an example. It's like a very stupid basic example. When I am chatting with ChatGPT, I don't care about spellings. Like I don't care. Like if I make a mistake, I'm not going to go back to correct it because I know it is so good with understanding what I meant. Like even if it's completely off, it literally looks like a cat walked on over my keyboard. I don't care. My fingers are flying across the keyboard. I am like constantly in AI land. Like I have multiple tabs open and multiple things happening. While one tab is working on one operation, I open another and I do another. So I don't have time, right? ChatGPT never makes me feel stupid about my spellings. I'm like, okay, this is great. Like I'm like, just understand what I'm saying. Just keep going. My shorthand, my bad spellings. Go ahead. Gemini rubs it in the like literally rubs me the wrong way by showing it to me that, oh, you said this, you probably meant this. Yeah, right. I spelled Amazon Amaxon. Don't remind me about my spellings. So I somehow, yeah, somehow Gemini rubbed me the wrong way by just reminding me of my spelling mistakes and the way I had said something. And you probably meant this. And yes, 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 right. And then Claude tends to have a different personality. Claude seems to be like this very, um, gosh, these guys have personalities. Anyway, so Claude has a personality. Claude tends to be this quiet, super smart, intelligent being that will only give you as much as you need and nothing more. It's not super chatty or anything. Like ChatGPT is chatty. Like when you do the
Mhm.
conversation mode, it will talk to you like a human. It'll put the uhs and the ahs and ums and everything. Whereas Claude doesn't do that. Claude will stick to the work, and when it's done, it'll give you helpful suggestions. Do you want this, this, or this? And then you can pick from one of the options that it suggested. So the conversational naturally flows to the next step with Claude. So somehow for coding, I don't know, that frame of mind where you're really thinking about how you want to proceed. You don't want chatty. You want
Yeah.
the thing to understand what you want and then without distracting you too much, give you the next couple of best next options for you to keep
You don't like
going.
small talk,
So
Ritu. I get it. I get it. Uh,
Yeah, maybe.
what I did want to ask you though is that what are some of
Mhm.
like your most impactful automations that you're using or
Uh,
you've developed that just make your life so much easier?
oh my God, there's actually so many, but let me share a secret, which is that
Okay.
even prior to getting into AI, I was very, very automation focused. So I used to use AppScript, so Google AppScript for all kinds of things. And ChatGPT just or OpenAI just came along and made my life easier.
Mm,
So it enhanced my kind of style of working by shortening the duration of creating these projects. It just takes like sometimes just an hour or two to put together an app. I'll give you an example. This is like really really simple, but it saved me. I guess it saved my team a little bit of time, but over time, all this kind of adds up, right? So we have this what is it? Gosh, Walmart. Okay, so Walmart, we have a login for Walmart, and every time my team tries to log in with our email that the client has given us and given permissions to, it generates an OTP. Right? It says, okay, now you gotta go, now you gotta get the OTP and then put that in, and then you can proceed and log in. That OTP comes to me because that email is an alias of my email, right? Now, my
mm,
team sitting in somewhere in Philippines or India or wherever, they're like, "Oh, can you send us the OTP because we want to log in?" So I was like, "Oh my God, I want to fix this." So I figured out a way where as soon as the OTP is emailed to me, right, it comes into my Gmail, right? And I have this this Google Apps email watcher. I have lots of email watchers, but this particular watcher is only watching for an email that comes from help@walmart.com or whatever that
mm, mhm.
link is, that address is, and then it'll scan the email and find the OTP. Now it's got to do something with that. It's got to send it to, the group. I want it to be sent to all the people in the because I don't know which of my team members asked for the OTP. I want
Mm,
to
mhm.
send it to them all at once in a group. So the best place for me to send that information is in Google Spaces. So Spaces is this very cool. It's almost like Slack, but in
Mhm.
the Google ecosystem. So you have Spaces, and we have like 45 50 spaces right now, one for each client, plus there's other small ones that we have for
Wow.
internal purposes. So these spaces, I created a space just for Walmart. And every time my email hits an email like that, that OTP is sent to that space, and everybody who's on that space just picks it up. Whoever wants it can pick it up from there. Um, this took me I would say like 30 minutes to an hour to create the app script that does all of this. And I got stuck along the way because I needed something called a webhook, which I had to generate from within the space. And then I had to give that webhook to the app script so that it would kind of give the final output to a particular place. And that was my spaces. So gosh, this project has been saving me time. It's been mostly saving my team frustration because I'm not awake when they're awake and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I would say such automations, there's like hundreds of them that we've created to save time. And I generally follow this rule of if something is happening more than three times, if you're having to do a task more than three times, consider automating it. And we find these opportunities everywhere in our operations every single day, like so many of them. So I think the combination of existing automation tools like AppScript and the power of AI to generate those JavaScript code pieces that I can just quickly plug and play is helping me so much right now. I'm saving so much time. That's my AI world, that overlap of
Right.
like automation and AI right now.
What about people who are just afraid to touch any JavaScript or whatever? I know, like, I haven't tried this yet, but I know Claude's integrated into Gmail right now, for example, right? And have you tried that yet?
Yes.
And then you
I,
can
you
go
know,
and you
I,
can, yeah.
mhm. Yeah, I tried the what is it? The calendar connect. So it tells me when my yeah it basically reads my calendar and it tells me when my meetings are or things like that, but I haven't really needed to go there because I have my own system within the Google ecosystem.
Mm.
I did test it out though. And yeah, I think that might be a good alternative for someone who is afraid of um, programming in general or touching JavaScript.
Yeah.
It's always going to be this question of build versus buy. Should you buy like a ready-made solution to your problem, or should you plow through the details and have more control over it and just like build it yourself? Or you have this middle ground of like you want to build it, but you want to do it in a low code, no code sort of way where you don't need to understand the coding piece. So yes, I'm sure there's so many different ways you can go about it that work for you.
So it seems like you opt for the code method in general. Is that accurate then? Or
Yeah, because of the flexibility and the control and the fact that it's free, I'm already paying for the Google
right,
Workspace system. And I'm familiar with it. Familiarity is one of the most important things actually. If you're
of
used
course.
to doing things a certain way, if it's just an extension of that, it's always easier than switching to something totally new, which gives you maybe a little bit more. But I'm actually fine with this, comfortable at this point.
Let me rephrase the question then, just because I think the audience is probably afraid of code. I'm just making a guess or assumption here.
Yes.
What are
Yeah.
some of the most impactful automations that you use that didn't involve any programming?
Hmm.
We can
Yeah.
talk about your creatives, anything that you do.
Sure. Yeah. No, I agree. So the creatives definitely I have like this whole creative stack
Yeah.
that we use internally, right? There's lots and lots of different apps that we use for different things, but at the end of the day, we compile everything in Canva, which is our assembly
Mm.
platform. So all the pieces, like let's say you have like a foreground, a background, and text. We basically look at things as layers, and then we put everything together in Canva and give it some basic um, transitions and animations. You can do that in that final
Do you do
that
everything in Canva
space
then? Because Canva has,
at the end. Hmm.
oh, just at the end.
Yeah, because I think so. Canva has a bunch of AI tools. Yes, we use those AI tools where we need to. For example, Text Anywhere. It's an AI tool within Canva. There's actually 200 or 300 AI tools within the Canva apps set that we use from time to time. We also use Canva's own kind of native apps like Magic Expand, Magic Grab, Magic Erase.
Mhm.
Things like that that can help to extract foreground from background, or it can help to fill in the space. Like if you have a small image and you want to actually grow the background so that you can position it correctly, you can actually say magic expand and it fills the whole space. So we use a bunch of those different tools in order to get the final look that we're going after. But that's on the creative side, right? I think your
Yeah.
question was also more about the low code, no code programming side. So I've actually had success with make.com, quite a bit of
Okay.
it. So to give you an example, and I think I might have shared this at your summit as well, but let's say Facebook posting, right? You
Mhm.
start with an image that you upload into a Google Drive folder. Let's say your graphics designer just finished their image, they've uploaded it to a designated Drive folder. Now you want that to be picked up automatically, and then you want to send that to ChatGPT via an API connection, and that basically ChatGPT will read and understand that image and generate a nice Facebook caption in text with emojis and hashtags and all that good stuff. And it will also post it to Facebook.
Mhm.
Simultaneously, you can post it to other
Without your review
places.
or
Up to you. Like if you
okay.
feel like you want to include a review cycle, then you can have a human in the loop and break the automation there, or you can take it all the way to Facebook and maybe correct it later after the fact. For the most part, it's been working fine with the direct as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
a
See,
Facebook
the thing
post
is,
for a brand or
yes.
for on behalf of you?
Yeah, so this is basically for my own brand. Like I have a
Oh,
jewelry. Yeah, but I don't operate it much these days. Like it's not
sure.
an active thing, but I use it for like demonstration purposes as well as for my own, testing and things like that. And so
Mhm.
that basically posts it to my live audience that actually views my page and stuff like that. And it's got almost perfect captions. Like literally, it doesn't, default from my prompt. The prompt is most important, right? Because if you put if you put enough clauses in your prompt, you should get a fairly reliable response.
Hmm. Okay. Like I mentioned before we started recording, I've been working on Steve Bot, and it's
Yeah,
read in everything I've ever done, and it gives replies, and uh, it sometimes is like off the wall. I mean, it's the answer is correct, but the way it
yeah.
answers it is
Hmm.
like all over the place, despite my best efforts. Um,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, hallucination, losing context, all of that is real. I struggle with it too. Like especially when you've, let's say in OpenAI, you've listed some custom instructions and you're expecting it to follow all of those. It often deviates, from those, especially like M dash, like those dashes
yeah,
that
yeah,
get added to sentence. Oh my God, that is so annoying because
yeah,
it's a dead giveaway that this post was written
yeah.
by
Right, right,
an
right. Yeah,
AI, right? It's like, oh
yeah.
my God, you didn't write that. So it's funny because I actually created a shorthand to speak to my LLM, and every time I do a post or I ask ChatGPT to write something for me, I just say that one code word. It's an instruction to it to go back and clean it up, remove the dashes and a few other things. So it's like shorthand between me and the LLM because it does not remember. It forgets.
So this is a shorthand that you've created in a custom GPT, I guess, that you've
No, no,
trained.
no.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah, just trained it over time. So, I have it in the custom instructions,
Mhm.
in my user preferences settings and stuff like that. I have mentioned that this is, I don't like the M dashes and stuff like that. But then I also have it in memory, which is another area
Mhm.
that you can keep stuff, right? So there's those two, the combination of those two pretty much guarantees that if I say that word, it's going to do it. And it's basically gobbledygook. It's not any word that makes sense in the English dictionary because it's a made up word that only I know and I understand that when I type it, it knows to do that. So it's
So
like shorthand. Mhm.
for those of you guys listening, actually, what I've discovered is a lot of people don't know about all these extra ChatGPT features. So,
Yeah.
memory, in case you guys are listening, is where it's basically all it knows about you personally. And you can add memories, you can delete memories. I think it's under settings, and it's just something that you should look at, to see what it thinks of you because it has all these defaults there. Um, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Steve, in the memory, I've also given it a few people and their styles of writing as reference. Like I've
Mm,
said, because I don't like to write, my style is not very like hypey or like clickbaity, or I don't like that style of writing.
yeah.
I tend to be more like Seth Godin, for example. So I've actually put Seth Godin in one of my
Mm,
instructions, like write in the stable and uh, what is it, a stable and calm style of Seth Godin, because I don't want to, ever be kind of too over hypey and stuff.
right.
So yeah, you can put a bunch of stuff like that in your custom instructions and in your memory. So how do you trigger memory? The easiest way is to say, remember this. That's the
Mm,
code word that gets things straight into memory. And then it'll give you a little confirmation that says memory updated, like right away. And if you see that, you will be able to check it and it can be, you can't edit a memory. Unfortunately, I tried to edit a memory. The only way is to delete it and start over. You can't delete
yeah.
memories.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
deleted plenty because like every it I don't even know
Yeah.
exactly how it ends up in there sometimes. to be honest with you.
Sometimes, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
when it thinks that you're going to use this again, then it just puts it there, you know? Like if you're working on this big project and you maybe try to describe it in a lot of detail, then it assumes that this is something that's useful to you, and so it's going to add it to the memory. But yeah, you can delete it.
Do you use anything? So it sounds like you're mainly in Claude and ChatGPT, and then use. It sounds like you use Claude more sparingly because of the credit usage. You know, I've
Yeah, only
never
because
ever
of
run
that.
out in ChatGPT ever, but Claude, it happens
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time, all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know how that happens.
Do you use
But
any
it's,
of the other
yeah.
ones,
Mhm.
or like Grok,
You know,
or
no, I don't use
no?
Grok. Gemini, I know, has plenty of memory space. Like they give you, I don't know how many tokens. Like I've lost track of a million tokens or something.
I've
Uh,
never run out
insane.
actually.
Yeah, yeah. Gemini gives you insane amount of tokens, and I think I like to use Gemini for transcribing videos, which I don't think any other tool is doing right now. So if I just upload a video it will transcribe it for me, like every single line. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So the way I do it, well, I do it two ways.
Hmm.
One,
Yeah.
Riverside offers free transcription. You just upload it and it'll transcribe
Oh.
it for you. The other
Mm.
cheap way I do it, since I had to do this with like 500 videos, is OpenAI has open sourced their Whisper model. And so I
Okay.
just run it on
Okay.
my own computer with, as long as you have a good video card, it can
Yeah.
go through all that because I'm cheap. I guess, but Gemini is free. I haven't tried. I didn't know about that
It's
actually.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
free. Yeah, and you can actually upload like pretty long videos. Like I've uploaded an hour-long video and it does a very good job of transcribing it.
Hmm.
And now when it comes to YouTube videos, I don't bother. I don't download and upload and stuff like that. There's another tool that I use with YouTube videos. Gosh, I forgot the name of it. It's installed and it's I forget the name. But anyway, that tool, as soon as you open a YouTube video, on the right side, there's like a little browser widget,
Oh
and you
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
just click on that and download the transcription.
I
So
think it's
that's
called
easy for that.
ChatGPT YouTube transcription or something like that. I use that
Is
too.
it?
Yeah. Oh, there's
Okay,
different ones,
yeah,
I'm
it
sure. That's
could
the one
be.
I
There's
use.
different ones. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
few different ones. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's fun.
One thing I also wanted to ask you is, I know at Seller Summit you had some of these really cute videos uh, that you created for brands. And
Yeah.
I wanted to know what you're doing to create those little videos because they were all AI generated. Are you using Kling, or are you using like Google's VO3 or anything like that? What is your
Hmm.
method?
Yeah. So initially I was using Sora because it's
Sora.
unlimited as well. Yeah, it's like kind of being a little realistic about the cost of all of this. Sora does a pretty decent job. It's no longer the top model out there. There's so many much better ones. And then there's a bunch of services like OpenArt that give you access to other models, like including some of the Chinese models, including Kling. Kling's model is called Colors, spelled with a K. I think that's Colors 2 or something like that. And then also gives access to VO 3 through that. So there's different ways to access all of these models without paying for them individually, you know, and because costs
Mhm.
add up when it comes to AI
What is
creatives.
that
Uh,
tool that you're just talking about that allows you to use all of them?
yeah, it's called OpenArt. I can double check
Open
that real
Art.
quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called OpenArt.
So
Yeah,
does
I'm
it
pretty
work
sure.
if you pay for that subscription, you get access
Yes.
to all of them?
Yeah, in fact, they have a few credits for free. So yeah, it is open art,
Okay.
and there's a huge library, and then you can pick models, um, and then you can also train your own models and stuff like that. So it's a bunch of like Flux, you have gosh, VO3. There's so many, and you
Mm.
can immediately get access to all of them. I think including Minimax, which is China's one of China's leading uh, video models. And now I think Midjourney has also come out with their own video creation. It was always just
I haven't tried
image
it yet,
creation tool.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. You need to pay for it. Like Midjourney will not let you in without paying for it. Like they start you on the paid plan. So
You know,
yeah, I
I've been
haven't.
debating
Mm.
whether to cancel my Midjourney lately because I feel like ChatGPT for what I use it for is actually quite good
Mm-hmm.
for the
Mm-hmm.
text and
Yeah,
everything. That's the most
for
important
sure.
part to me, the text.
The
Um,
text.
what
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
catch with that open art or that tool? Because I imagine you get limited credits for everything, right? If you're paying.
Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at it here. So it's $14 to get started for 4,000 credits per month, which is almost 40 videos per month. That is
Mm,
a huge number of videos. Like even if you were to discard like 90% of them, uh, it's still pretty good, right? And mostly, I mean, this is what happens. Like 9 out of 10 videos we throw away because they're like garbage.
yeah,
And the thing is, the prompt is something that you evolve as you're evolving the concept like with the tool, and you may not get it right. It might end up in a particular direction. You're like, no, 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 this is not what I want, and then you end up discarding that. So often I find myself using multiple tools just to get to the final prompt that I will then use in the final uh, good tool that I actually rely on, and I think will do a good job, like Kling, for example, or VO3.
interesting.
Yeah.
I watched this presentation of a guy who made like a 5 minute video on VO3, like piecing together different scenes and everything. And he showed off his prompts that he used to generate it. And it was literally like a book.
Yes, I believe that. I believe that.
I mean, it's almost faster to film the video than like look at all the instructions that he gave. Well, maybe not, but I mean, to me, it was like that is overwhelming. Which just
Yeah,
shows to do
yeah.
it right, you have to be explicit about so many little details.
Yeah, and the thing is, I bet he didn't write that prompt because you use AI to generate the prompt to generate
Right.
a more detailed prompt, which then goes and generates a more detailed prompt. So it's like multi-step and then also multimodal because you will from time to time insert reference images and reference any details that can be integrated into the prompt itself, like angles, lighting, style, this and that. So there's like whole frameworks around AI generated video that touch on all these aspects so that you get a high quality output.
I did want to ask you some of these questions also, switching gears a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm worried about all this. Like, do you feel like AI is replacing, um, I don't know, replacing a lot of these services? Like, do you believe that a small brand now can do a lot of things themselves with all these tools and basically displace a lot of players in the entire industry? Uh,
yeah. Yeah, so my thought on that is that AI is, first of all, going to take away a few jobs, but it's also going to add back another few jobs because now you're doing more things with it. You're doing different things with it. So it's not like you'll suddenly lose all your people, like people who are worried that their jobs will be gone. The nature of the job will shift. You'll probably have to use AI internally to kind of do your job better and then more. But I think what AI is unlocking is stuff that was never possible before. And I think there was inefficiencies in the way we operated, whereas now it's going to be highly efficient. You're going to be using the people for the things that people are good at, and automation for the things that automation is good at. Whereas previously it was like mixed up. Like people were doing stuff that should never be people jobs, like downloading files from a
yeah.
particular place. Like those should not be people jobs at all. Those should be just streamed in or whatever. So yeah, I think as to the question of whether agencies will be wiped out, I don't think so at this point, because you still need to give it business direction. You still need to give it context. You still need human oversight. Like earlier, you were saying, are you sure that you can just
Yeah.
take the make.com output and just flush it out to Facebook? Perhaps not. You probably need some spot checking mechanism at the end where someone goes in once a day maybe and looks at and maybe cleans up the posts that were posted. Like if you're doing volume work, you will need humans somewhere in the loop. So that's not going to go away, but the nature of their work will definitely shift
Mm.
over time. And anyone who is in the creative space, I would say embrace AI and leverage it to your benefit rather than be afraid of it or try to oppose it, because opposing it is not going to get you anywhere, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thought.
And then last question for you is, if you're an e-commerce brand right now and you're still kind of on the sidelines of AI, like where should people learn? Like, where do you think that people should learn first about AI, or what should they start with? And
Right, yeah. So, there's a bunch of newsletters you can follow. I have one. There's a few others that are out there. There's Superhuman AI. There's a bunch that I subscribe to. So first of all, get into the mindset of I gotta learn this thing, because you
Mhm.
can't ignore it. Like that would be foolish to, close your eyes and ears and say, okay, I'm fine where I am. You've got to learn, right? That's the first step. So subscribe to a bunch of newsletters. I could share mine if you're interested in
Please,
sharing it with
please
your
share
audience.
yours.
But
I think
that's,
it's an excellent
yeah.
newsletter. And Ritu, you're
Mhm.
always so non-promotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Always so
I mean,
modest. What
yeah,
is the URL of
yeah.
your newsletter first?
Yeah. Yeah, so mine is ppc-ninja.com. So you'll have to put a www in front so that it doesn't go to the wrong place. I need to fix that, but www.ppc-ninja.com. And that
Okay.
should get you the entire 1 year's worth of newsletters that I just wrapped up 1 year of writing. So all of those are there, plus all the new ones that come out once every Tuesday. So that's one starting point. Like get into the mindset of, being on top of news. You don't have to know everything about everything, but at least you need to know what's possible. Once you know what's possible, then you can hire people who can help you. As a first line, you could get people as consultants to help you out with like just structuring your AI automation, internal AI automation or AI efficiency. I've been hired by like two agencies, in fact, who want
Hmm.
to do what PPC Ninja is doing. And that's kind of interesting because they feel the urgency. They know that they need to be AI savvy, or else they'll lose their jobs. So I'm helping them. But then, the next step from there is to get smart people who will actually do stuff and actually be the prompt engineers or the AI creatives in your organization that will take you forward to the next level. So start with the education, bring in some consultants, and then start training or hiring for talent in-house. And just keep a note on the fact that this talent is not readily available. So if you can find someone who is good, grab them, early.
Yeah. I think what I found, at least with the students in my class, is like you have to realize that almost anything is possible. Uh,
Mm.
like if you wanted to, like if you're doing something, I think the example you gave was if you're doing something more than 3 times a day, chances are it can be automated away. And the first time you do it, it's probably going to be a little bit more intimidating, right? You'll make lots of mistakes and you'll get frustrated. But if you can just break through that initial barrier, then literally, because you can use AI to make decisions for you on a lot of fronts, which you couldn't do before, I think that's the biggest benefit. And you can automate
Mhm.
practically any stupid thing.
I
Yeah.
agree. Practically any stupid thing. I totally agree. It's just a matter of priority and also cost. I think that's those are the only two things that come to mind. But other than that, you can automate anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd mentioned this in prior episodes, but I've been working on something where, you know how you have to rotate out Facebook ads all the time? Well, you just list what you want in a spreadsheet and it automatically generates, you know, the Facebook ad for you. Or we probably both get tons of emails. You can have ChatGPT go through like last week's worth of emails, for example, make its determination on whether you should respond or not based on whether it's promotional or whatnot, and automatically create a draft. Like those are just some simple examples here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. Yeah. Love it.
And Ritu, so if people want PPC and Amazon services, can you just kind of describe what your ideal client looks like?
Mhm. Yes. So we work with clients that have at least $1 million in sales. So we
Mhm.
start there. That's kind of our cutoff. It's not like we don't work at all with smaller sellers, but just understanding that we may not be the right fit at that early stage because we have our service fees and things like
Yeah.
that, and we do a high quality job, and so we do have a slightly higher entry point for that reason. The other criteria we have is the conversion rate on their listings. We generally look for 8% and above. And why is that? Conversion rate is a leading indicator of how efficient your ad performance is going to be. So, for example, if you have a high conversion rate, let's say 20%, you only need 5 clicks to make one sale. It's just the way the math works out. And if you just take an average cost per click of, let's say, $1, that's basically you're spending $5 to make one sale. Now, if your sale price is, let's say, $50, then at $5 to acquire one sale, your ACOS is already decided. It's 10%, right? So we know from the conversion rate what your efficiency is going to be. Now, take another example of a horrible conversion rate of, let's say, 2%. Now you need 50 clicks to make one sale. And at $50, $1 per click, you're spending $50 to earn $50. That's 100% ACOS. We can't help you. So basically
Right.
you need to fix your conversion rate first, get it up to a point that's decent. That's why our cutoff is like 8% ish.
Hmm.
Now, there might be some products that have a very high price point, in which case also your conversion rate could be low, and that's fine. Those cases are fine because then the ratio of spend to sale is not that bad. You'll still make a good ACOS even if your number of clicks is high. So
Yeah.
those are the two main ones. And yeah, we don't really have any other blockers to kind of do a free PPC audit. And then if we are a good fit, we can start working with you. We also offer like DSP services for slightly larger brands where there is an element of repeatability. So there's a initial customer acquisition cost with DSP, and then you can basically remarket to those people over and over again. And that way you can kind of stretch out your dollar so that it kind of has a longer lifetime value versus, products that only have a one time and it lasts for 2 years. DSP
Yeah.
is not for you, right? So
Right.
supplements is good, or consumables, or anything that needs people to come back for more, that's good, a good candidate for DSP. So yeah, those are the two. And then we also do Walmart in case you have a Walmart
Right.
account, and we can manage that as well.
And I just want to say that I think I've known you for over a decade now, or almost a decade, I want to say, right?
Almost a decade, yeah.
And what I like about you and both Bernie is, you're like you say it like how it is, and there's no like you said earlier, you don't want anything hypey or anything like that. Because I feel like because you're both engineers, right? And you're like my people, like who I relate with personally, because I feel like we have similar
Yeah.
personalities. So uh, I just wanted to say, like, I trust you,
Oh, thank you so much.
for
It
all
means a
these
lot,
things. So
Steve. Yeah, that means a lot. Yeah. And I trust you because your content is so good. Like I can listen to you for hours. I literally have your voice, it runs through my head sometimes when I remember
that's
something
scary.
because I've listened to some episode of, something you're maybe talking to someone, or just your videos are so good. And it's like, so logical, so methodical. You just go from point to point, like your text flows seamlessly. It's really amazing. So here's
Well,
our
thank you,
mutual
Ritu.
fan club, guys. Just
And oh, and I do want to just
yeah,
plug your newsletter real quick. Like all these
yeah,
automations that we didn't really get a chance to go into depth. Like Ritu gives out a bunch of these
yeah.
free automations, like the one that scrapes Rufus, for example, which is highly useful in helping you figure out your Amazon listing. So as soon as you stop listening to this, go sign up for the newsletter. And I sign on and I learn new things every week because I feel like you are in the AI probably 10x more than I am because I feel like you just wake up and it's AI, AI, AI. Whereas I'm a little more casual about it. Like I need some for my store, so I'll go do something about it. So yeah. But Ritu, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, Steve, for having me. Appreciate it.